Hello, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm getting better. I've been poorly over Christmas, which has been a nightmare. But I'm
You have
feeling,
been poorly.
I'm feeling better today. Just about. I'm still a bit snotty, so if you hear me sniffling or coughing or sorry, apologies in advance.
Apologies in advance. She's been feeling snotty. You have been bad though.
Yeah, it was really bad and quite frustrating as well because, like, what I love most about Christmas, not the actual day, but like the period. Oh, Naomi's here. Hi, Naomi. Late mark for you on the first day back of school.
Oh dear, I forgot my homework.
I love it. I love it. You're allowed. Listen, this is what we're talking about. Happy New Year, literally.
Oh my word! Shall I just take a deep breath first? Sorry, and I was decided to work in my lounge today so I could look over the snow.
I was like, it's a different background for you today. Yes.
So sorry, I should have like turned the blinds so that I didn't have a bit of sunshine on me. But when I got your message, I was like, how has that happened? Can I tell you how it's happened? For some reason, it's in the calendar on Wednesday, and I didn't move it to today.
Oh, Don't you worry.
So I'm sorry, I interrupted you mid-flow, Rochelle, as well. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to twist the blinds so that I do not have this weird thing going on in my face.
Okay. Well, I was just saying about so Christmas. I like the pause because so many people are off. There's no emails coming in. There's no you don't have to be reactive to things. So I feel like it's a really good time to be proactive and get done what you want to get done. So I was really looking forward to having like a week where I got ahead of myself, and I feel like I'd come back today and I'd be on top of everything. I'd be winning the year already, and then I got ill. So I was in bed Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I dragged myself out of bed because I had a in-person day with Victoria and Lindsay McGlone. So I dragged myself and sat on Lindsay's settee with a blanket over and tissues in my hand. And then back to bed. So now I've started the year, and I was saying to Victoria before we came on live, I had a really bad sleep last night because I felt like it was the first day back at school and I'd forgotten to get new uniform. I'd forgotten to buy a new backpack. I'd not got my pencil case with all my stationery in it. And I feel like I've turned up to the new year not ready. And I'm like, how ridiculous is this that we put so much pressure on ourselves to show up for the new year?
Just take a deep breath. Naomi, how are you?
I think the fact that I got here at like 6 minutes past midday, I think that kind of explains it, doesn't it? I feel a bit the same, Rochelle. When I say I don't have an excuse, like I had a Christmas and New Year of not seeing anybody. Well, not anybody, but like,
yeah.
I had like, I put 3 books on my coffee table that I said I would read over the Christmas break. I'm like, where did that time go? I have not been sick. I've not been poorly. I've not had family around. How has it happened?
What happens when you get space? You wanted space.
I wanted space, and I had space, and
yeah,
and I don't put all that pressure, because I just feel like when I say I have worked through the Christmas and the New Year break, I've not like kind of gone at it like, I've been on my sofa and working on my laptop but it is weird, isn't it? And I just think it, like today, everyone, of course, has come back to work. So whereas you might have sent the emails over the last 10 days, now all the bloody replies are coming in.
Love it. I love it. I love the fact that you have been showing up. I've just seen your message. and she's like, oh, shit. She's like, can I join while I'm walking? Yes, you can. And so Rochelle has done work.
That wasn't me. Who said could they? Somebody else.
Oh, that's EJ.
Yeah, not me.
Oh, was that EJ?
Yeah, not me. Yeah. I just said, oh shit.
Oh. Oh God. So I'll see.
And here's the irony. I was just about to go and make I was just about to go and make my breakfast.
Oh my
Brilliant,
God.
isn't it? What a start.
That's so funny. That's so funny. So
but interesting, isn't it? How we all kind of, like you say, it's almost like that feeling of being on the back foot. And here's the irony: I started off my day with went live in my inner circle with all of my members, and I said, like, if you're anything like me this morning, you got to your desk and you kind of went, oh shit. I said I'd do that over the holidays. Oh sugar, and it's all the shoulda, woulda, couldas.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Yeah.
And we didn't. For whatever reason, we didn't. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be these human doings all the time, rather than these human beings.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just got to take the load off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's quite interesting because last night, so there were certain things I wanted to do. I had deadlines and stuff, and I knew that I didn't realize how much work I really had to do because I've literally not done as much work for most of Christmas. So there've been days where I've just not done anything, or maybe I've put a post out, but otherwise I've just been really cool. And the last couple of days I was like, okay, I want to get this done. And I had a list. I was like, yep, I'm getting that done. And then yesterday I was like, oh my God, tomorrow is Monday. Like, it's the day. And I just sat here and just got everything done. I didn't put any pressure on myself. I was just like, right, okay. So we're doing that, we're doing that, we're doing that. And I was so chilled that I got more done than I would have done if I was panicking.
Yeah.
Am I behind? I wouldn't say I'm behind. There's a couple of things that I want to smooth out, but I'm not too fussed about when they need to happen. Like, as long as they happen maybe by mid-January, I'm good. But I've actually had so EJ is going to join us. Okay, now you're showing off. You need to get off.
Oh,
yeah, you're just showing off. You're just showing off. You thought you
can you see the snow?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you, EJ?
North Wales.
Oh, lovely.
We're actually stuck. We're snowed in. We've not been able to leave the house for 2 days. So we've decided to walk the dog today. My God. This is not Victoria. You'll understand when I say this is not my natural habitat.
Yeah. It's not an African thing. It's like we don't. I'm looking. Like, are you okay? Like, this is not
Exactly.
Like,
my parents are. I called my dad. What are you doing outside? Go back into the house.
Yeah, but no, we're just talking about New Year's and stuff. How are you doing, EJ?
Well, apart from being stuck here this year, last time we chatted, we talked about our words for the year, didn't we? And so far, I'm trying to see how I can incorporate that into every element of my life. I found that I've not felt as, what's the word? I don't have the drive that I usually have at the beginning of the year. And I'm not sure why that is. But I also think it's because, I don't know, have we talked about cyclical living before? Where is this way of sort of following the cycle, the moon and all that? And people say, why do you have a New Year's resolution in January? Everything is dead in January. Yeah. Nature is still asleep in January. When you're supposed to have new life and new things, it's supposed to be in spring. So I'm sort of using that to not feel too bad about not having the drive that I think I should have. So I'm trying to put things in place, and I'm telling myself I'll get my oomph back in spring when nature is starting to wake up.
Can I say something? Okay. And this is for anybody out there who's listening, right? 2025 was about 4 or 5 days ago. I think that presumption that society puts on us that 2025 was years ago, it was like 4 or 5 days ago. Yeah. So we've literally just walked across into a new year. This thing. Yeah. Secondly, and I'm sure everybody's going to vouch for this, we work so hard, you don't realize how tired you are. I couldn't stop sleeping. I was like, over Christmas, I had the most amazing Christmas. I spent it with family, and there must have been about 20 something of us. I think the most was 30. It was amazing.
Beautiful.
I was that auntie. This is how I know I'm old, right? I was that auntie. I was just falling asleep on the sofa, or just going to my room to go to sleep and stuff like, and I'd be sleeping, and I'd wake up, and I'd see my niece looking at me. I'm like, was I snoring? She goes, yeah. I'm like, great, and stuff like. I was tired. And I needed a break. And at the end of the year, you're exhausted. You're excited, you're proud, you're going through so many emotions that trying to figure out what next year looks like and I'm not saying you shouldn't plan, but when you're trying to set yourself those goals that are, oh, what's my word? And I must stick to that word. And if I'm not on that word, I just think that we're setting ourselves up for failure. And that's why a lot of people at the beginning of the year, they start talking about the word. By the end of the year, they don't
remember what the word was.
Yeah, because they know they ain't met it, and and then they start having the shame and everything else, which they shouldn't. Naomi, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so really interesting you should say that, EJ. I just a couple of months ago actually went to a wellness retreat, and they were talking. I actually met a couple of witches.
Oh,
and who follow obviously the pagan year.
Yeah.
And I was so fascinated, and it's like they said, like winter, we should be wintering, we should be,
hibernating,
conserving energy, hibernating, all those different things. Also, I shared, I think on our last call or a couple before, that obviously 2025 was the year of the snake. It doesn't technically end until the 17th of February. So actually, we're not in it. Like you said, we're not technically in a new year yet. We might be in a calendar new year, but we are not technically in the new year. So the year of the snake ends on the 17th of February. Also, do you know that we have just finished the 9th year of our 9-year cycle? So we are technically 2026 is year 1 of the next 9-year cycle, but we still have some old energy that we are moving through. And I said this, I did a workshop on Friday night for my clients, and I said, we are not going into this new year like with all these resolutions and this and this and this. We're just stepping in with some intention, and that could be that actually this first week we just do things gently and not all this like I need to get back on X, Y, and Z and all these different things. I think, I absolutely agree. And I am one thing I am trying to do is bring in some of that kind of look at those rituals and think about, this is a time of year that we should be like flipping, closing our doors and hiding under rocks and going to bed. I don't know about any of you, but I haven't been going to bed at 6 or 7 o'clock, but there's been evenings where I've gone like, oh my God, it must be, oh my God, it's only 6:30.
Yeah. I am pajamas ready for bed.
Oh, I love that. Rochelle, what do you think?
I always feel like September is the start of the new year. I always feel like that, to be fair. I think from going back to school every September, and now as an adult and having children and them going back to school, like I have to shut down a certain amount over the summer because the kids are off school. So in September it's like, right, we've just had this 6 weeks of chaos, so now September's a fresh start for me. And I think we do put too much pressure on this winter new year because it's cold and it's horrible, and it's nice and sunny where you are, EJ, but I don't want to spend a lot of time outside.
It's horrible.
And I do want to hibernate, and we are all full of cold and illnesses and catching everything. And I think the difficulty is when we're running our own businesses, I'm like, I'm already behind financially because I've not made the money I planned to make over Christmas. So now I need to catch up with that, and I need to make sure the money's coming in. And I think that's one thing that if I can try and remember for December is to make sure I've got a reserve pot of money where I can actually go, let's just actually have December off and not have to put this pressure on myself to make all this money over a time where we're feeling ill and exhausted and we're recovering. I was interested what you were saying about the 9-year cycle, Naomi. I don't know what that is. I've not heard of that, so that sounds interesting.
Me too.
Can she hear us? You there, Naomi?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh gosh, right.
I was actually asking you a question. What is the 9-year thing? You don't even know, do you?
Well, okay, so I like some of these things I know at like surface level. And
Yeah.
so hold on, I'm going to do a little research for you quickly. So it's numerology, and it's that we kind of I guess operate in 9-year cycles. So in numerology, we've literally just come to the end of. I'm just trying to find if I can find something a bit more. I guess hold on.
You do your research while Victoria talks to us.
Go on.
So the whole point. So the whole point of the 9-year cyclical level, and some people say 7, some people say 9, is that you rotate. So you go through like a whole energetic phase of living. So it's and the way I come from it's like I talk about your emotional year as opposed to your literal year, because emotionally right now you're definitely not at the beginning of your year. As the energetically, then you've got the 7 and the 9 years. So some people talk about 7 because you rotate every 7 years, sort of like karmically and energetically and everything else. And then you've got the 9. I'm not an expert in this, by the way, and stuff, but then you've got the 9 years where you have like a rhythm. So every year you go through things like resets, relationships, creativity and everything else. Like every year reflects one over the other, and then by the time you come to the end, then you start all over again and stuff. And that's not just all about positive stuff; it's also the challenges as well. So it's like understand, so that when you're going through the challenges, you understand. So some of the comments, somebody says, can you say Jasmine? The other person says, tap your head. We're tapping our head.
Is this because kids are still off school? Are these people children? Because I can imagine my children commenting things like this.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness, I've got kids here. Oh my goodness. So it is about energetically, but emotionally. And this is where using your intuition is really good. Can I just say that planning and not realizing where you're fitting things in? I do have a planning day. Command your year on the 29th of January. So if you want to know more about that, then hook me up. But when we keep on trying to fit with society, which I get, it's here. It's the powers that be. When you ignore your intuition, so it's almost like I explain it as another metaphor, Rochelle. I explain it as it's like you've got your natural energy going this way, and then you've got society's energy coming this way, and you're trying to sort of like do this, and it's not working because like it's two opposing energies, and that's where we are at the moment. So the feeling of I'm not as full of like I want to be, or I feel like people are ahead of me and everything else and stuff, is because you're trying to do this. You're trying to you're trying to like bring yourself back to fit in with what society's wanting, and your intuition is a lot stronger and going, no, that's not the way it is. So if you need to sleep. I'm not saying sleep and do nothing, but if like be honest with yourself. Do you need sleep? Can you do some work? Can you plan? Can you make commitments? Where do you go and stuff? And because remember that going the opposite way as well is detrimental to you as well. So it's about just gauging where you are. But incredible stuff. Now I want to know what are our plans for this year? Putting pressure back on you. But I'm excited. I'm excited for whatever it is. And nothing is still an answer. Does that make sense? Like I have no plans, it's still an answer. EJ, what have you got planned this year?
Well, when I was a teenager, from when I was a child to my teenage years, my dad used to make us write the vision and the mission for the year. So you write your vision, which is whatever, plan it. Like, it doesn't require much planning for the vision. It's like whatever. You can say you want to buy a unicorn. But then you have to write the mission, which is how you're going to make it happen. I used to hate it. I used to absolutely, oh, for God's sake, here we'll go again. But then at the end of the year, he'll sit with you, talk you through it. And then at the end of the year, he'll show you what you wrote at the beginning of the year. I was always shocked at how you used to tick everything off. Everything happened, So I did all of that, because I write the list and forget about it. So I've been doing that with my kids. I spend an unhealthy amount of time standing in front of TK Maxx and other shops that sell journals and, notebooks, finding the best journal for my kids. Honestly, I literally stand there for hours because I want it to be something that they would be in tune with. I don't want them to feel like it's a chore, So I stand and I buy a journal, some kind of planner, depending on what I'm intuitively feeling for my children. I get one for myself. And for this year, I've done that. I've designed the year. My children have designed their years. But again, for me, this year is about just coming more into myself,
Right.
We've spoken about self-creation before, Victoria, you and I. And I feel like there is a big pull on me this year to stop. I've been apologizing a lot, And I don't know whether it's my age, but I'm feeling like I want to stop apologizing now. So that's what this year is about. It's more about taking risks and saying what I want, who I want to be, not caring what anybody else.
I love that. Well done. Rochelle, what about you?
All those nice shows. We're going to quite a lot of shows. Yeah. Yes. And we're going to Egypt for my birthday. Ewan has bought us tickets to Egypt. So I can tell you what I've planned in terms of the nice stuff, in terms of the serious business stuff. I'm just looking to be more myself. That's the best I can give you today.
That's wonderful. We received that as well. And we're here to support you. We're here to support you for that as well, EJ.
Thank you.
That was one of the things, actually, when you talk about holidays. Last year, we got one family holiday for 2 weeks in May, and then we've not been on a family holiday since then. And the reason has been we've been too busy. So this year, we've got 2 family holidays booked in, one in May and one in August, because if we don't physically, like now the holiday's booked in, we're going on it. No matter how busy we are, we're going to be there. Yeah. Whereas normally we'd go, let's wait and see. And if we've got time, we'll book something in. And then we end up not going. So we've actually physically booked in those holidays now to carve the time. And I think that's one of the intentions I want for this year, carving out the space for family time, carving out the space for myself as well. But then also I've got big intentions with launching some property training. So I've got a few launches. I've got my calendar here on my wall next to me with some launches on there that I'm going to be doing. And I know that this is definitely going to be my best year in business yet. And it seems like I've been writing down like my numbers.
Amen to that. Okay,
this feels like it's very achievable. I think every year up until now I've put goals down and it's been I just don't know how I'm gonna get to that goal, whereas this year it feels like it's very, very achievable. I just need to put things in motion.
But you've also invested heavily last year to make this possible, so it's not as if it's just come out of thin air and stuff. It's like it's something that you've been working on and you've been putting together and stuff. So you're reaping the rewards of that. That's
it. I think all the time in business we'll often go like this for ages and ages. And I think I had about 4 years of going like this and maybe even down a bit. And then last year felt like I was just at the start of heading upwards, and it's I'm off. Yeah. So I said my year is the year of acceleration. I'm accelerating this year, so it was momentum.
Brilliant.
This year. I'm putting my foot down hard on the accelerator, ready to take off.
Love that.
Brilliant.
Love it.
And as usual, straight behind it. Naomi, what about you?
Well, coming back very quickly onto the 9-year cycle. Year 9 that we are still finishing is completion and release.
Oh,
Year 1 that we are just about to go into is new beginnings. And you're right, Victoria, when you said about how it's like it can be everything, it's relationships, it's all those things. When I say unfinished business, that's what a lot of people are experiencing at the moment, is this feeling of things unsaid. So I did a ritual with my clients last week about leaving behind. So are there conversations that you've not had? Even if you can't verbally have them, can you write a letter? Can you let that letter go? Can you do all those different things? So we're in the final part of completion and release. And
that
then
resonates so much. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, and then we're moving into new beginnings. So for me, what does 2026 look like? So I think I shared before Christmas that my kind of main word for this year is actually spaciousness. And what goes alongside that is freedom and safety. And that feels like in kind of every area of my life. So one thing I am planning on doing more of in 2026 is being rather than doing. I feel like I have been sowing the seeds, fertilizing the soil. I have been farming for several years, tending to my crop, nurturing my crop, and 2026 for me is the year of the harvest.
Love it. Beautiful. Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, if I look at 2025, it was the year that I published my book. It was the year that I spoke on stage. It was the year that all, you know, really, really big milestones. I guess it was my acceleration year last year. And I know that that is not sustainable long term. And I also that's not what I want to create. I want to create a business that has space, a life that has space. So yes, this year for me, I want to be being more than I am doing. And that will take some, you know, some upgrade in operations behind the scenes. I've got some new team members. I've got some, you know, change of way of working. So but it's all quite messy at the moment, EJ, a bit like you were saying. It's all messy. It's all like, you know, it's not how it needs to be. But also that's part of the process too.
Yeah, I love that. I love the analogy of the, you know, sort of like the planting and the harvesting. And I think in a way we've all done that in our own way. Like, you know, we're at that stage of life where you do sort of like have that time where you're planting, and then, you know, and then you don't know what season's going to grow the crop. So you trial it out and what have you. For me, this year, the word that keeps on coming up is awareness. Awareness for me, but also awareness for others, and encouraging others to be aware as well. I think in our space, whether it's online or offline, it's very easy for us to get carried away and shed our responsibilities and think that we've got it sussed when we don't have it sussed, and just to be aware that we haven't got it sussed and what needs to happen to bring us back in line. So it's that whole thing of, you know, just making sure that you keep on shifting the needle just to keep you so that you are on track. Because what tends to happen, and I'm seeing it a lot at the moment, where people think they're on track and then something's happening and it's literally tipping them over. And it's the littlest things that you can manifest to tip you over. So awareness is it's not necessarily a word, but it's something that I want to be aware of. I don't like words because, and I said this last time, but consistency is not my portion. I know, yes, we've done, but it's not. And also, I just don't think I like the pressure of consistency. Like, I can be consistent. I don't like pressure against it. So I'll stick to the word, use the word, and not put any pressure on myself to do it. But in relation to what you ladies have spoken about, I believe that this year is the year where I've been able to sort of like pick up my tools and really put them to use. You know, it's no secret, and I've been really, rightly or wrongly so, being very open that messaging for me, and I don't know what it is, and I actually believe that it dawned on me today that there's something energetic. There always is, but there's something that has been holding me back and stuff about just speaking, just speaking about stuff, and I will get to the bottom of it. But I'm so fortunate. Like, my gratitude. I was driving back from Lee near Manchester on New Year's Day, and I was like, I don't know how to pray anymore. I was like, I don't know how to, I don't know what to say. It's not that I don't believe in prayer, because I do, but I'm like, I don't know what words to put down, because all I can keep saying is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I look at my life and I'm like, I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm happy, I'm smiling. I've got incredible friends, I've got incredible family, I've got incredible business, I've got people who are willing to help me, like literally put themselves out for me. I've got a team that I'm bringing on that I'm so proud of. Like I'm manifesting some of the most incredible human beings into my life, and I believe that having that awareness and knowing that I've got the tools, and literally just showing up and not worrying about anybody. And I know people go, well, don't worry about anybody. I don't think I worry about anybody, but trauma tells the truth. Trauma will always tell the truth. Like, wherever it's existed at some point and stuff, it's like it will always exist. So for me, it's just about bringing together all my tools and creating that level of awareness for me and for others, and just having a fantastic 2026. Whatever is thrown at me, it's like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And when I say we're going to do this, it's about making sure that my products are known, that people know why I'm here, that people understand why I'm here, that people can refer to me without coming to me only when they're really desperate, because that's what I attract. That I attract really desperate people are going, oh my God. And listen, I love you as clients and stuff, but it's like, I also want somebody who's going, do you know what, something's off, I'm going to speak to Vic. And so it's a whole mishmash, but I'm excited for 2026. I know that it's going to have trying times. It's like I have an 80-year-old mom who, I mean, thank God she's quite there and doing all the things, but she's 80, and I'm healing her every other day with something. So I'm aware of that. I'm also aware of nieces and nephews growing up and having different demands and everything else. So there's all those challenges as well. But I intend to have fun this year and to own what I've created, because I didn't just start creating my success in business. I started creating my success when I was in corporate.
Brilliant.
Love it.
There you go.
Oh, aren't we a bloody powerhouse?
We are.
We are. So for the business people, and EJ, you may have one as well. So I'll come to you, EJ. Have you got any talks or any promotions that are coming up this year that you want people to know about?
Actually, thank you for that. Yes. So, I was nodding when you were talking about awareness and people knowing what I'm really about, So someone said to me, when I go on TikTok, Facebook, all the social media, I see that you love North Wales. You have this nice, you love your boyfriend very much. We can all tell that. Yeah, okay. We can tell that you're passionate about equality matters and stuff. But those are not the things that professionally we actually can put a pin on what you actually do. So she suggested this a long time ago, and I'm doing it now. A TikTok page that shows what I do. And what I do is I tell stories. I literally tell stories. I like my Greek mythology, Norse mythology. I told a story the other day about the tortoise and the hare. That's my favorite at the moment. And I draw lessons from that. And organizations call me to use these stories on their stages, to use these stories with their senior leadership at their conferences, and they seem to love it. So I've started a new TikTok page, God help us all. And it's just where my stories are. It's called The Myth Weaver.
Nice.
So if anybody's interested, go check it out. I could do with some feedback, to be honest. The Myth Weaver is what it's called. And, I started it 2 days ago. And I put a couple of my stories on there. I'm liking the responses so far. But
100%.
Yeah, so I could do with some encouragement in that regard. But that's good. That's my professional TikTok page. Yeah, and I mean, as always, in March there's going to be a few calls for talks on stages for International Women's Day and stuff like that. And the usual HR conferences are going to contact me to, come and be their keynote speaker. I've got some things in the pipeline, but that's my main one for now, is my professional TikTok page. I would really love your support.
Great. So we followed you.
Thank you.
Follow us back so that we can
Yes.
what's it called? Sink in.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you.
About the March. Let's talk about, me, I'm not speaking on stage. I'm always talking to you about speakers. So
yes,
about March.
Yes, let's do something. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
Rochelle, what have you got coming up this year?
Well, I'm speaking on the big festoon stage in Manchester, actual Manchester Arena.
Wow.
So we've got a little 2-day retreat next week with some of the other speakers where we're going to be like rehearsing and things. So it's starting to feel really real now, and I signed up to this like March last year, so it felt like it was so far away, and then so quickly it's just like here, and I'm like, oh my god, how has that come around so quick? But I think similar to what you were saying earlier, Naomi, this is like because this is my accelerate year, it's getting in front of more people, it's being more visible, people finding out in a similar way to what Victoria and EJ, what you were talking about, people finding out about what I can actually do to help them, and going all in on the property business to help people build their own property portfolios, to make more of an impact to more people around the country. So that's going to be in the form of, like, as well as me building property portfolios for people, I know that I can only do so many. So we've got 2 renovations on the go at the moment, and 2 is tiring. And like the most I've had on the go at one time is 5. So I don't think I can, I don't want to do any more at the moment than like 12 in a year. So I'm having to look at other places where I can help to impact more people. And that's by showing other people how they can build portfolios for themselves and build their wealth, and helping. So Danny Wallace always talks about putting more money in the hands of good people. And I love that. And I think that summarizes what I want to be able to do. There's plenty of people out there who are spending the money on handbags and fast cars and bad investments, and actually I can help them to put the money into long-term wealth building, that they can then use the money from that to buy handbags and cars, knowing that it's coming from a long-term investment.
So you can direct people in their midlife crisis then.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it more meaningful.
I think I mentioned on this last year, I did a post because there's a guy who won £10 million on the lottery. Within 8 years, he was back at work in his day job because he'd blown it all on ridiculous things. And I think when people have that kind of windfall, the first thing they do is they go out and they buy a big, massive house, and they give some away. They're really generous with it. They buy a nice car, and the bills go up massively because they've got this expensive house and expensive car, and they're going on loads of holidays, and before they know it, it's run out. Whereas actually, if at the start of that you go, well, let's invest some first, so that I know I've always got X amount of money coming in each month. So even if I do lose the rest, enjoy the rest, I've always got that other pot of money, that investment to fall back on. So
cool. So what you need to do is, I guess, you're changing your tagline on here then.
No, still connect with me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where I talk all about property on LinkedIn. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I thought I actually should have read it properly and stuff. To me, I was like, LinkedIn, but she's moving away from that. Naomi, what about you? What are you doing this year?
Well, I'm doing more being.
More being.
So where you're kind of saying there about and doing this and doing this and doing this and doing this. 2025. I did so much. And I think when lots of things started to come up at the end of last year with like, will you come to this? Will you attend this event? Can you speak at this event? I actually turned an awful lot down. That's quite scary because look, I was modeled on a busy woman, and I've done that same thing of like filling my space, filling my calendar, needing to do all those things. And I have been working with a new business coach for probably about the last 4 or 5 months, who has shown me a totally different world where you don't need to say yes to everything, where you don't need to be attending every event, where you don't need to be doing all these things. And you can have not only an incredibly successful business, but you can actually feel more aligned with it. So yes, I do have some things obviously in my calendar for the year. But having said that, I've shifted the way that my business works in the last couple of months. So instead of having like 3 key launches throughout the year, I am going to be, enrolling all kind of pretty much continuously, which takes that huge pressure off 3 times a year. But it's not even that. It's actually a better business model for my clients.
Yeah.
And I think this is where I've been, in 2025, I think I got to halfway through the year and 2/3 of the way through. And I was like, things just don't feel aligned. I don't feel like I don't feel like this is, my work's lighting me up, but my business model is not. So I have made a lot of space already in this year by turning down events, turning down speaking at different places. So it's quite an exciting time, because whereas last year my calendar was just constantly jam-packed, I'm looking at it right now, and don't get me wrong, there are things in there, but it has got space, and that's exactly what I said I wanted in 2026.
Boop, boop.
So I feel like I also have the opportunity to. I don't talk about what I achieved last year enough. I've had so many so many women say to me over Christmas, I didn't know you'd written a book. I'm not talking about it enough.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't need to be doing more. I need to be doing. I need to be talking more about what I've already done.
Yeah. And you know what? Funny, that's a great segue, because for me, and Rochelle always pulls me up on this, I'll say something, she goes, I didn't know that about you. And I go, oh, yeah, well, and she goes, I didn't know that about you either. And somebody else, I can't remember who, said to me, you're always full of surprises. Like, there's always a story. I'm like, it has happened, but I'm very much, again, I come from a busy woman. I come from a woman who, if I say to her that I slept for 3 or 4 hours a night, she goes, oh, that's amazing. Like, she you know what I mean? And it's only when the mother kicks in, she goes, oh, make sure you get some sleep. But as a woman, she's going, 3 hours is fine. Yeah, because we've got work to do. Like, yeah, I get it. And so it's like, for me to actually achieve anything, it's just has just been, it's like, yeah, I did that, next thing, I did that, yeah, next thing. So then you go, oh, I've done all these things. So for example, I wrote a book at the age of 13. Nobody knows that. And so I didn't publish it, but yeah, I wrote a book handwritten on my own at 13. And my point is that there's so much stuff that we have done that we don't talk about that will add value to what we're doing now. But for this year, what am I doing? So the most important thing was to make sure that I had a team. I have prayed for a team for so long. You have no idea. Like I up until about November, even December, I was like, I'm exhausted. I'm knackered. Like, I'm done. But I couldn't stop because the business needed to keep making money, and it was, the business was such a huge improvement on the year before. It was like, we're onto something. Let's keep going. So having a team has just been amazing. With regards to offerings, I want to be more. I want to build my own stage. I'm tired of trying to fit into other people's spaces. I don't mind other people's spaces, but I know how powerful I am, and I want to own that. I want to own my space. I want to create my space. So events, and again, I just manifested the most amazing venue back in November, 15 minutes from my house. It is stunning. So I want to do more live events, which is why I'm doing Command Your Year on the 29th of January. I want to have really good, authentic presence. I don't want to just have a photographer or a videographer just for the sake of it. So I've manifested an incredible videographer who I'm so excited about and stuff. So stuff like that to me, and that shows my story, not a story based on somebody's timeline, deadline, somebody that I know that I can really connect with and who shows the real me. And then also really focusing on my one-to-ones. I don't plan on doing any launches this year at all. I want to focus on my one-to-ones, and while we're doing that and stuff, maybe the year next we'll look at launches, but I just want to keep it lean, like so lean that I can literally see the wood for the trees, and also look at other places. I'm also looking to get into some big, ridiculous rooms, some big, like F me rooms, yeah, and that's the intention and stuff. Because here's another thing as well. It's like I have a tendency, and if somebody came up to me and said this phrase, I would probably knock them out. But it's like I have a tendency to play small, and when I say play small, it's like I'm very good at sort of like just making sure that everybody else is okay and sitting in that space. And actually, I know what I'm capable of. I know what tables I've sat on before, and this year is the year where I just own it. Like literally, that's my phrase for the year: owning it. Like literally owning it and just going, you know what, Vic? You know who you are. You know how powerful you are. You know what you do. You know what you do to transform lives. These are the people that you need to be speaking to. Let's go for it. So that's me.
Brilliant.
Love it.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up now. For anybody who's listening, for anybody who's paying attention to times, we tried Monday because one of us couldn't make another day and stuff, but I've made a decision. We're going to choose one day. It's not going to be a Wednesday. We're going to choose one day. We're going to choose one time, and we are going to come at you. Whether there's one of us, whether there's 5 of us, we're going to be there and stuff, and then everybody else will just come and join us and just have an incredible time. EJ, thanks for coming on. It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
Good luck with the Myth Weaver.
Yes, thank you.
Rochelle, I know I'll see you around all the time anyway. Naomi, I know I'll see you around anyway and stuff, but good luck with your launch, because I know that Naomi's in the middle of a launch right now, or coming towards the end of it.
I mean, but and like I said, I'm not technically launching as I have launched in the past.
No, she's it's a cyclical launch. It's just
correct.
She's cyclically.
We're changing things.
Yeah, she's cyclical.
We don't have to carry on with what the gurus have been telling us for years. We can actually choose to like follow our own path.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, and we will speak to you soon. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.